Have you ever wondered how one man's courage could reshape an empire? What if his faith could inspire generations? Discover the story of Hazrat Ali, the Lion of Allah, whose life blended fierce battles, deep wisdom, and unwavering devotion in a time of stark conflicts. How much can one heart endure for the sake of justice? Let us find out in today's video. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, Naseeha Studio. Today in this video we will be talking about the fourth caliphate of Islam and the one honored to be called as the Lion of Allah, Hazrat Ali, Abi Talib. Early years. In the heart of the Arabian desert, a young boy named Ali stood out from an early age. Raised under the watchful eye of his cousin, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Ali was not just a witness to the dawn of a new faith, but one of its earliest champions. As a child wandering through Mecca's crowded markets, Ali's spirit was stirred by the vibrant discussions and sometimes heated debates about the new teachings that his cousin introduced. One afternoon, he found himself amidst a circle of older merchants fiercely criticizing Muhammad's peace be upon him message. The intensity of his young heart surfaced as he passionately defended his cousin's vision, marking his first public display of fierce loyalty and courage. These moments of bravery and conviction in his youth set the stage for Ali's role as a steadfast defender of his faith. His days were filled with more than just games and chores. They were occupied with attending prayers and absorbing the spiritual and ethical lessons that would shape his character. Hazrat Ali's early years were also a time of bonding and learning directly from Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who took a keen interest in nurturing his young cousin's potential. This guidance was crucial, for the world around them was changing rapidly, and the challenges of growing up in a society on the brink of transformation were many. Hazrat Ali's resolve and his unique position in Muhammad's, peace be upon him, inner circle prepared him for the pivotal roles he would later assume. From these formative experiences, Ali grew with a clear sense of purpose and a deep commitment to justice and truth, traits that would define his path through the complexities of leadership and conflict in the years to come. His story began not with grand battles or public declarations, but with the quiet strength of a boy who believed deeply in the righteousness of his cause. The battles. As Ali grew into a young man, the community around him was enveloped in a series of conflicts that would define the early history of Islam. Living in Medina under the guidance of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Hazrat Ali became a central figure in defending the fledgling Muslim community against external threats. The first major battle that Hazrat Ali participated in was the Battle of Badr. Despite being vastly outnumbered, the Muslims needed every able-bodied man to fight, and Hazrat Ali stepped forward without hesitation. His courage and skill in combat shone brightly that day. Hazrat Ali's role was not merely that of a warrior. He fought with a sense of divine justice, driven by his deep faith and the teachings of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Following the victory at Badr, Hazrat Ali's reputation as a brave and skilled fighter grew. He was pivotal again at the Battle of Uhud, where despite the Muslims facing a setback, Hazrat Ali's valiant efforts helped to prevent a total defeat. His actions during the battle underscored his commitment to protect his community and uphold the principles of Islam. The battles continued with the conflict at the trench, where Hazrat Ali's strategic acumen was on display. He played a key role in the defensive strategies that ultimately led to the failure of the enemy's siege of Medina. This battle was not just a physical confrontation, but a psychological one, where Hazrat Ali's resolve and clever tactics helped demoralize the opposing forces. Each battle that Hazrat Ali fought in was not just a test of physical strength, but of moral and spiritual endurance. His unwavering bravery, strategic mind, and devotion to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his cause helped to secure the survival and expansion of the Muslim community against overwhelming odds. Through these fierce battles, Hazrat Ali's legacy as the Lion of Allah was firmly established, making him a lasting symbol of courage and faith in the face of adversity. Family life. After the dust of battle settled, Hazrat Ali found solace and joy in his personal life. His marriage to Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, marked a union of deep love and spiritual significance. This marriage not only strengthened the bonds within the early Muslim community, but also brought Ali into the heart of the Prophet's family. Hazrat Ali and Fatima's home in Medina became a beacon of warmth and piety. They shared a profound connection, grounded in their mutual respect and their shared dedication to the teachings of Islam. Their household was modest, reflecting their commitment to a life of simplicity and service. Despite the scarcity of material comforts, their home was rich with the spirit of generosity and hospitality. Together, they raised several children, including Hassan and Hussein, who would later be revered figures in Islamic history. Ali took great care in their upbringing, ensuring that they too absorbed the values and teachings that were pivotal to their community's ethos. He was a nurturing father, often seen imparting lessons of righteousness and bravery, much like those he learned from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Ali's role as a family man also extended to his community responsibilities. He was known for his wisdom and fairness in settling disputes, and his guidance was often sought by many. His home was not just a family residence, but a place of counsel and peace, where people came seeking solutions to their problems and words of wisdom. The tranquility of Ali's family life, however, was occasionally overshadowed by the political and social upheavals outside their home. Despite these challenges, Ali and Fatima maintained a strong partnership, supporting each other through the trials that accompanied his role as a leader. Their relationship was a testament to their unyielding faith and commitment to each other and their religious duties, embodying the ideals of partnership and devotion in the Muslim community. The relationship between the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and Hazrat Ali and his grandsons Hassan and Hussein was characterized by deep familial bonds, mutual respect, and spiritual kinship. Hazrat Ali was not only the cousin of the Prophet, peace be upon him, but also his son-in-law, having married the Prophet's daughter Fatima. This close relationship placed Ali in a unique position within the early Muslim community, where he was both a family member and a trusted confidant of the Prophet. Hazrat Ali's connection with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was established early on when Ali was taken into the Prophet's household as a young boy. This was partly due to the economic hardship faced by Ali's father, Abi Talib, but it also reflected the special affection and trust that the Prophet, peace be upon him, had towards Ali. Growing up in such close proximity to the Prophet, Ali was deeply influenced by his character and teachings. He was among the first to embrace Islam, showing his support from a very young age, and he played a crucial role in the spread and defense of the faith. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, often expressed his affection and regard for Ali in various sayings and deeds. He famously declared at Ghadir Kum, "Whoever's master I am, Ali is his master." This and similar declarations underscored the spiritual and leadership status that the Prophet, peace be upon him, conferred upon Ali. Hassan and Hussein, the sons of Ali and Fatima, held a very special place in the heart of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He often referred to them as his own sons due to his deep love for them and his daughter Fatima. The Prophet was known to show great affection towards his grandsons, often carrying them on his shoulders during prayers and taking them with him on various public and private occasions. There are numerous traditions that highlight the Prophet's love and esteem for Hassan and Hussein. One famous saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about them is, "Hassan and Hussein are the leaders of the youth of paradise." This reflects not only his personal affection, but also his recognition of their future spiritual and leadership roles within the Muslim community. The Prophet's interactions with Hassan and Hussein were also indicative of his approach to child rearing and education, often using moments spent with them to impart lessons of virtue, leadership, and piety to the community. The relationships between the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Ali, Hassan, and Hussein had profound implications for the spiritual and political life of the Muslim community. These relationships were not only familial, but also formed a foundational part of the Islamic tradition, influencing subsequent theological interpretations and political developments within Islam, particularly in Shia Islam, where Ali, Hassan, and Hussein are seen as the rightful successors of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, based on their direct lineage and the spiritual authority bestowed upon them. These relationships underscored a model of governance and spiritual leadership that was deeply intertwined with the Prophet's family, highlighting the importance of moral character, piety, and justice as central qualities for leadership in the Islamic worldview. Leadership. After the passing of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Muslim community faced the daunting task of choosing a successor to lead them. This period was marked by significant political and social turmoil, and Hazrat Ali's role within this context was both pivotal and complex. Hazrat Ali's leadership qualities had long been evident, demonstrated by his unwavering support for the Prophet, his exceptional prowess in battles, and his deep understanding of Islamic law and principles. However, despite his qualifications and close relationship with the Prophet, Hazrat Ali was initially bypassed in the selection of the caliphate. The community instead chose Abu Bakr as the first caliph, followed by Umar and then Uthman. During these times, Hazrat Ali remained a central figure in the Islamic community, offering his wisdom and guidance, albeit from a position not at the forefront of political leadership. Hazrat Ali as Caliph. It was only after the assassination of Caliph Uthman that Hazrat Ali was finally chosen as the fourth Caliph. His ascension to caliphate came during one of the most turbulent periods in Islamic history. Hazrat Ali's leadership style was distinctly marked by his strong adherence to justice and equality, traits that were both admired and at times contentious among his contemporaries. Hazrat Ali's tenure as caliph was challenged by widespread dissent and conflicts, including the First Fitna, a major civil war among Muslims. Notable battles of his caliphate included the Battle of the Camel, fought against a faction led by Aisha, the widow of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the Battle of Siffin against Muawiyah the governor of Syria. These conflicts were not just political, but also had deep ethical and religious undercurrents, reflecting differing visions within the Muslim community about the rightful leadership and direction after the Prophet's death. Governance and justice. Hazrat Ali's approach to governance was characterized by his attempts to restore the values and practices he believed were authentic to the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He focused on ensuring fairness in the distribution of public funds and stringent adherence to Islamic law, avoiding nepotism and the accumulation of wealth among the elite, which had become prevalent issues. His policies, however, faced resistance from various quarters of the society, which had grown accustomed to the practices of previous caliphs. Hazrat Ali's insistence on justice, sometimes at the expense of political expediency, won him both deep loyalty and severe opposition. Spiritual leadership. Beyond his political and military roles, Hazrat Ali was also a spiritual leader. His tenure as caliph is noted for his profound sermons and sayings, which have been collected in texts such as Nahjul Balagha, the Peak of Eloquence. These writings continue to be revered for their deep spiritual insight, eloquence, and wisdom. They provide a window into Hazrat Ali's profound understanding of Islamic theology and his perspective on life, morality, and leadership. Legacy. Hazrat Ali's leadership left a lasting impact on the Muslim world. Despite the conflicts and challenges of his time, he remained committed to the principles of justice and equity. His caliphate is often remembered as a period striving to return to the true spirit of the original Muslim community under the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Hazrat Ali's legacy is particularly significant in Shia Islam, where he is considered the first imam appointed by the Prophet and an exemplar of righteousness and piety. His life and leadership continue to inspire millions, serving as a model of integrity and devotion in the face of adversity. Challenges. Hazrat Ali's tenure as caliph was marked by a series of formidable challenges that tested his leadership and the unity of the Muslim community. His rule was characterized not only by its moral and ethical ideals, but also by the significant conflicts that arose from political divisions and discontent within the community. Political unrest and opposition. After assuming the role of the caliph, Hazrat Ali moved the capital from Medina to Kufa to establish a base where he had greater support. However, this move also brought him into direct conflict with powerful factions opposed to his rule. One of the most significant of these was led by Muawiyah the governor of Syria, and a relative of Uthman, the previous caliph. Muawiyah challenged Hazrat Ali's legitimacy, demanding justice for Uthman's murder, and using this demand as a pretext to assert his own claim to the caliphate. The discord culminated in the Battle of Siffin, a fiercely contested and ultimately inconclusive engagement that led to a significant loss of life on both sides. The battle ended with arbitration, which further exacerbated tensions within Hazrat Ali's own ranks, leading to the secession of a group known as the Kharijites. The Kharijiti rebellion. The Kharijitis, originally part of Hazrat Ali's force, turned against him due to their extreme puritanical interpretations of Islam and their dissatisfaction with the arbitration at Siffin. They declared that judgment belongs only to God, opposing any form of human arbitration. The Kharijites' dissent culminated in their rebellion against Hazrat Ali's authority, posing a significant threat to his rule. Their insurgency was marked by a series of violent confrontations and acts of terrorism, including the assassination of key political figures. The challenge posed by the Kharijites was not only military but also ideological, as they questioned the very principles upon which political decisions and leadership were based in the Islamic community. Personal and spiritual trials. The political and military challenges were compounded by personal grief for Hazrat Ali. The loss of companions and the continuous state of unrest deeply affected him. Despite these hardships, he remained steadfast in his commitment to justice and the teachings of Islam as he understood them. His sermons and writings from the period reflect a deep concern for the spiritual well-being and moral direction of the Muslim community. Hazrat Ali's challenges as caliph were immense, touching on every aspect of governance, from military to administrative to judicial. He navigated these with a focus on equity and adherence to Islamic principles, often at great personal and political cost. His leadership during this tumultuous period left an indelible mark on Islamic history, highlighting the complexities of governance and the enduring question of how to reconcile human leadership with divine will. Legacy of resilience. Despite the continuous conflicts, Hazrat Ali's time as caliph is remembered for his unyielding integrity and commitment to fairness. His struggles illustrate the difficulties of leading a diverse and often divided community through periods of profound crisis. Hazrat Ali's legacy is particularly significant in how it shapes the understanding of leadership in Islam, emphasizing that true leadership requires not only political acumen and courage, but also a profound commitment to ethical principles and justice. The teacher. During the chaotic years of his caliphate, Hazrat Ali remained deeply committed to the educational and spiritual welfare of the Muslim community. Known for his eloquence, wisdom, and deep understanding of Islamic jurisprudence, Hazrat Ali's contributions as a teacher and spiritual guide were as significant as his political and military endeavors. Spiritual guidance and educational efforts. Hazrat Ali's role as a teacher is encapsulated in his profound sermons, letters, and sayings, many of which are preserved in the collection known as Nahjul Balagha, the Peak of Eloquence. These texts reveal his philosophical depth, his understanding of human nature, and his extraordinary ability to articulate complex spiritual and ethical issues in a manner that was accessible to all levels of society. In Kufa, the new capital, Hazrat Ali established an intellectual and theological center, attracting scholars, students, and seekers of knowledge from various parts of the Muslim world. He encouraged debate and discussion, often participating personally in these exchanges. His teachings covered a broad range of subjects, from the interpretation of the Quran and Hadith to the complexities of governance and the responsibilities of rulers. Personal mentorship. Hazrat Ali was not only a public figure but also a mentor to those around him, providing personal guidance to his companions and family members. He took great care in educating his sons, Hassan and Hussein, instilling in them the virtues and knowledge necessary for leadership. His approach to education was holistic, emphasizing not only religious and legal knowledge but also ethical living and the importance of justice and compassion in daily affairs. Philosophical insights. His philosophical insights, particularly on matters of destiny, justice, and the nature of God, have had a lasting impact on Islamic thought. Hazrat Ali often spoke about the importance of intellectual and spiritual independence, urging his followers to seek knowledge as a way to get closer to God. He famously said, "I am the slave of the one who teaches me a letter," highlighting his reverence for learning and teaching. Social reform. Beyond theology and philosophy, Hazrat Ali's teachings also addressed social issues. He spoke against nepotism and corruption, emphasizing the need for leaders to be accountable and transparent in their dealings. His tenure as caliph was marked by efforts to ensure that the wealth of the community was distributed fairly and that the vulnerable and less fortunate were protected. Legacy as an educator. Hazrat Ali's legacy as an educator is characterized by his commitment to truth, his emphasis on moral integrity, and his profound spiritual insights. His teachings continue to inspire millions of Muslims around the world, offering guidance on how to balance the demands of leadership with the ethical obligations of faith. His intellectual contributions to Islamic thought are celebrated for their depth and have cemented his status as one of the most influential figures in the history of Islam. Final days. The final days of Hazrat Ali's life were marked by continuing challenges and profound reflections on his time as a leader. Despite the enduring conflicts and the heavy responsibilities he shouldered, his commitment to his faith and principles never wavered. The tragedy at Kufa. Hazrat Ali's caliphate ultimately culminated in tragedy. On the 19th of Ramadan in the year 40 AH, while praying in the great mosque of Kufa, Hazrat Ali was struck on the head with a poisoned sword by Ibn Muljam, a Kharijiti extremist. This attack was part of a larger plot that also targeted other key figures in the Muslim community, reflecting the deep-seated tensions and conflicts that had plagued his rule. The wound proved fatal, and Hazrat Ali succumbed to his injuries a few days later, deeply mourned by his family and followers. His death marked the end of one of the most turbulent periods in the early Islamic history and set the stage for further divisions and conflicts within the Muslim community. Reflections on leadership and legacy. In his final days, Hazrat Ali remained focused on the spiritual and ethical lessons he had championed throughout his life. His concern for justice, his deep devotion to the teachings of Islam, and his compassion for the common people were evident in his last sermons and instructions to his sons, Hassan and Hussein, whom he appointed as his successors. Hazrat Ali's final testament and advice to his children and followers emphasized the importance of adhering to religious duties, dealing justly with all people, and maintaining unity within the Muslim community. He urged his followers to continue his efforts to return to the true principles of Islam as taught by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, stressing the avoidance of division and conflict. Enduring influence. Hazrat Ali's impact on Islamic theology, law, and spirituality is profound and lasting. His teachings and interpretations of Islamic principles have continued to influence not only Shia Islam, in which he is revered as the first Imam, but also many schools of thought in Sunni Islam. His intellectual legacy includes a vast body of work that remains a source of wisdom and inspiration. Legacy of peace and justice. Hazrat Ali's life and leadership are remembered as a beacon of integrity and piety, highlighting his dedication to the principles of justice and equality. His final days encapsulate the essence of his life, a struggle for peace and justice amidst considerable adversity. His martyrdom is commemorated annually during Ashura, particularly by Shia Muslims, as a day of mourning and reflection on the values he epitomized. Hazrat Ali's legacy is characterized not just by the political and military battles he fought, but more enduringly by his moral vision and his profound commitment to the welfare of the Muslim community. His life continues to inspire millions, serving as a timeless example of principled leadership in the face of overwhelming challenges. The story of Hazrat Ali, the Lion of Allah, is a compelling narrative of faith, courage, and unwavering commitment to justice. His life, filled with both triumphs and tribulations, reflects the complexities of leadership within a rapidly expanding and diverse Muslim community following the death of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Hazrat Ali's role as a warrior, a leader, a teacher, and a spiritual guide illustrates the multifaceted nature of Islamic leadership and the challenges it entails. Hazrat Ali's legacy transcends his time as caliph. His profound impact on Islamic thought, law, and spirituality continues to resonate across centuries. The values he championed, justice, wisdom, and piety, remain central themes in Islamic teachings and practices. His speeches and writings, especially those compiled in Nahjul Balagha, the peak of eloquence, continue to be studied for their depth of knowledge and eloquence, providing guidance and inspiration to scholars and believers alike. Hazrat Ali's life serves as a model of integrity and principle. His dedication to fairness and his determination to uphold the teachings of Islam, even in the face of extreme challenges, offer lessons on the importance of ethical leadership and moral courage. His story is not just a historical account, but a source of moral and spiritual guidance for Muslims and non-Muslims, illustrating how personal integrity can influence a broader social context. Despite the sectarian divisions that emerged following his death, Hazrat Ali remains a revered figure in all branches of Islam. For Shia Muslims, he is the first Imam, a perfect model of virtue and the rightful successor of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Sunni Muslims also honor him as the fourth rightly guided caliph, a brilliant jurist and a righteous man. His commitment to the principles of the Quran and his deep personal integrity unify various Islamic traditions in their admiration and respect for his legacy. The story of Hazrat Ali is more than a tale from the past. It is a continuous source of inspiration that challenges individuals to strive for justice, seek knowledge, and live a life of sincerity and devotion. As the world continues to face moral and ethical dilemmas, the life of Hazrat Ali serves as a beacon, guiding the faithful through its timeless lessons on leadership and humanity. His legacy encourages all to embody the virtues of wisdom, justice, and courage in their lives, making his story not just a reflection on history, but a living guide for personal and communal ethics. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. If you enjoyed this video and found it interesting, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more content celebrating the Islamic heritage. Your support really helps spread these important stories and teachings. We hope that Allah brings peace, happiness, and success to you and your family.